Hey Stampers, Diane Dimich here with DDStamps.com, and I hope everybody's doing great tonight. If you're on, let me know. Go ahead and, I don't know, give me a like, post up a comment. Let me know that you're here and that you can hear me. So anyway, I've got a lot to go through tonight, and so I'm going to just kind of get started. But to begin with, I got to tell you about our weather here, because it's crazy. So yesterday afternoon, I was walking around town down in Red Lodge with just a t-shirt on. And it was in the 60s. It was a beautiful day. And about this time last night, it started to rain. And as of right now, it's snowing. And it has been snowing since probably, I don't know, maybe 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock last night. And we have a large amount of snow, probably 12 inches of that heavy, wet spring snow, which we get, so it's not unusual. And luckily, our trees don't have any buds on them, so they're not breaking branches like they are 60 miles north of us. They've lost power, and the branches are breaking, and yeah, it's kind of sad. But I expect that we'll get another one of these before the end of May, because that's how it works. Our ski area closes on Saturday, and we always get one of our biggest storms after they close. So it should be a great weekend skiing, though, if anybody's into that, because there's a lot of fresh snow up there. All right, I'm going to flip the camera and get started. First, I'm going to talk about the tutorial for the month of April is the Thankful Garden tutorial. And if you haven't seen it, I did do a video a couple weeks back showing this stamp set, dies and masks. Hey, Linda, thanks. Yeah, lots of snow. It is so typical for this time of year. Anyway, so Thankful Garden is the stamp set for the tutorial, and these are the cards. I'm just going to show you. So for those of you who purchased from me in March, should be getting your packets of supplies this week. I would hope that most of you have gotten them for the March tutorial, which was mixed florals. This is the tutorial for April, so if you place an order with me, you get the tutorial for free, PDFs. If your order's over $50, you get the products in a packet to complete the cards. So it will include ribbon and some embellishments, all the designer series paper, and then all the cardstock pieces. This was one of my favorites. I love that it white embossed. Then there's this one. And then last but not least, there was this one. And this one, I showed you how to use that smaller flower die to cut out some of the flowers in the hydrangea. So it's these 3 flowers that actually get cut out with that. So anyway, that's the tutorial for April. I did just complete, I don't know if you're aware, but I do a monthly club, and I just wrapped up my first monthly club using the Grow with Love stamp set and bundle, and that is getting ready. I'm packing those up and getting ready to go out. Now this is going to be my next club project. So club is a monthly subscription that comes to your door. I pack up the supplies. In fact, I'll show you how I pack up the supplies. You get this big bundle of cardstock, embellishments, ribbon. It's about $22 to $25 worth of Stampin' Up supplies plus all the cardstock to do 2 of each card plus envelopes. So let me show them to you. They're really cute. So this is a new stamp set that's coming out in the new catalog. And those of you who placed an order with me over the last year or signed up to get a catalog from me should have gotten them. They went out. I know a lot of people have gotten them, and I'm hoping that everybody else did. If you didn't get a catalog and you don't have a demonstrator and you would love a catalog, send me an email and I will send one out to you. So anyway, this is the stamp set, and it is called, oh gosh, I've just been working with it too. Something Blooms. Impressions of Bloom. It's a kind of a fun stamp set, and it has an embossing folder too that goes with it. And so like I said, what you get all the supplies to make these cards, 2 of each with the envelopes in that club subscription. I teach you techniques. This is done with some of the sponge daubers. I love this die that's in that set. I always have a fun fold of some sort just to give it a little bit of something. And then this is a really fun fold. So this one opens up and boom, you have a whole bunch of blossoms. So that is the club. So if you're interested in that, visit my website because that's where you will find the information for that. All right, so tonight we're working with the Meant to Be scrapbooking kit. And I just took these out of the thing just so that these are just placeholders so that you have a place to leave your pictures if you don't have your pictures ready. And tonight I'll probably do that. I'll put the picture placeholders in. This is the instructions that come, and they're very well laid out. I'm going to walk you right through that. And then let me show you what comes in the kit. Everything comes in this great bag. I love this cute bumblebee paper. So this paper is for the scrapbook kit, but you can also purchase a pack of the designer series paper or designer series paper with stickers in the online exclusives. I love the plaid. Look at those flowers. They're so cute. Cute. Stripes, you can never go wrong. Flowers. If you notice this, some of this is designer series paper and some of it is not double-sided. So what this tells me is that this is a base page for one of the scrapbooks. This is paper. Some of this paper is paper that was in a designer series paper pack last year. So this is not printed on the other side, so this tells me that this is probably a base page. And then you get your two-tone cardstock. And so this is the pink, and you can see the two tones. One is much lighter. One side is dark and one side is light. Of course, the dog wants to go out, even though she just came in. So you get some pink and you get some old olive. We are at 5,555 feet, Maureen, and you know we have mountains all around us, so our snow will stick around. Actually, I had already cleaned my yard, so I was pretty happy about that. Got it raked through once. These are die cuts. I don't know if you can see those, but I'll play with them tonight and then you'll see them. So each strip, each color is just die cuts, and tons of them. And then these are stickers. Look at those bumblebees. They're so stinking cute. And I will show that tonight too. And you'll see on the back of the die cuts, they have numbers that tells you which page they go to. I don't think this has like a big sheet of die cuts. Cool. All right. So this is the packet of paper. I'm going to set this aside for now. I'm going to let you know what you need to do this project. You're going to need, if you want to follow their exact instructions, petunia pop marker, pair of scissors, some adhesive, and a cutter. And if you want to be precise, I would recommend you get one of these quilting. It's a 12x6 quilting ruler, and it really works great. Oh, there goes the dog. She just came in. Now see, it snowed, so she has to get out there to eat the snow. Now, let me open the door for her, just a second. She loves the fresh white snow. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and flip my page here and walk you through how we do this. Let me put there we go. All right, and so what you're going to do is you just really have to follow instructions, and it's super easy. Like I said, the cutting diagrams for each paper is here, and you can see what you need to be cutting. So this one would be up so you can see it while you're cutting this diagram. And you start wherever the scissor is and then work your way around. I'm going to leave this cutting diagram here so you can kind of see what I'm doing. And I'll take a piece of this adorable bumblebee paper and we'll go ahead and get started. And so to begin with, we're going to cut it at 8 inches. So put it in my cutter at 8 inches. I got to move some of this stuff out of here. There we go. And then use the cutting blade. So I have a cutting blade and a scoring blade. I'll use the cutting blade. And I'm going to cut that down at 8 inches. And then this one's going to be 4.5. And then what you have to do is you got to look at your paper here, and this is 2D. So on the back of it, I'm going to write 2D, and I'm going to put this in a pile of 1, 2, and 3. So that you know which page spread you're working on. So this one is cut at 4 inches. Oops, that's a scoring blade. 4 inches. And then 6.5. And that's a scrap that you get to keep. I'll just put that aside. And this one is 2J. So that goes in my number 2 pile. And then this one here, we're going to cut 4 by 4. And then this is a scrap that you get to keep. And this one actually is 1Z with an asterisk, which means we're going to use this side of the paper. So 1Z. So that goes in my first pile. All right, and then this piece here, we're going to cut a long strip of 2 inches. And then we're going to cut 5 2-inch squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a scrap. And so these 5 squares on here all have an asterisk. So that means we're going to use actually the green side of it. So 1R, 1M, 1T, 1L, and 1I. So they are all going to go in my first pile here of stuff. First page is done. Okay, now we're going to come to the blue stripe paper. That's this one. And it has the lines going horizontally, so we're going to do that. We're going to start the cut at 4 inches. I love these kits because they make it so fast and they're adorable. So this strip is going to get cut into 4-inch squares. So we got 3 of those, and they are, oops, use it on this side, 1Y. So that goes in my first pile. One B, and 1Y. So they all go in the first pile. Interesting. All right, then we have this second strip here, and this one is a 2-inch strip. Again, we're going to do little 2-inch squares. And this time we're going to use all 6 of them. So we'll come up here. If you have questions, pop them in the comment box. I'll try to keep tabs on it. If you're on my website watching, I cannot see your comments until after this is over. So, all right, so on this one, this strip, 5 of these we use the opposite side for, and 1 of them we use this side for. So I'm going to do 1D on this one. And then these are all going to be used on this side, and they're 1C. Well, I was looking at the 1J. I was looking at the project today, and oh wait, I'm doing this wrong. It's all right. Good thing I have an eraser. Maybe. Let me find an eraser. Shoot! I have to erase that because somehow this eraser goes up. I don't know how, but oh, I know I have this one. I bet this will work. There we go. All right, so anyway, I cut them this way, which means we're going to use this side, so I have to write on this side. So 1C, 1J, all right, 1O, 1S, and 1U. All right, so anyway, when this page, and these are all ones too, oh my gosh. When this page gets put together, it's really cute, but it's like a quilt. All right, so now we're going 2 3/4, and we're going to cut 2 rectangles at 4 inches. Which leaves this piece as a scrap. And then we have two pieces. One is going to be used on this side, and one is going to be used on this side. And they're both on the second page. So I'll start the second page pile. Put that in the second page pile. Now we have this strip, and this time we're going to do 2 1/2-inch strips. So I'm just coming using this 1/2-inch mark here. I'm going to cut them both at 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to cut them both at 6 1/2. And then, oh, I still have to cut that. All right, so then these two get cut to 6 1/2. So I'll line them up, maybe. Easier said than done. There we go. Go to 6 1/2 and cut them off. These are extras. One of these are both on this side. So this is 2G and 2I. Put that in my second pile. And then I have this one here. We're going to cut down to 2 inches. And then I'm going to start at 6. That's scrap that you get to keep. And then these get cut into 2-inch squares for that page. All right, so these 3 are this side up. And we have 1Q, 1F, and 1E. I put these in the one pile. All right. Next page. We need another blue stripe. So the blue stripe paper is going to go in, again, horizontally. And we're going to cut this at 3 1/2. And then we're going to cut it at 8 1/4. And this is actually going to get used on the other side. So 3E, we're going to use that flowery side. So that's the third page. And then this is scrap. And then we need another one that is 3 1/2 by 6 1/2. I would love to meet the person who designs all these and figures out your cutting guides and your measurements. So this one we're going to use on this side, the flower side. So this is 3K. Put that over there. And this is a scrap. And this is a scrap. So you got a lot of this paper to play with after you're done. All right, so let me pick out the next one. Is this one here. And on this one, you want these squiggly lines to be going vertically, but we're going to cut it on this side. So we're going to go at 6 inches. By 9 1/4. I like that paper. I like anything that's got plaid in it. That's the scrap that you get to play with. All right, so this is 3B. 3B. In my third pile. Pull this one back up here. I have this one that's 6 inches already, and so I just need to cut this at 7 1/2. This is a scrap that you get to play with. And then this one is 3H. Goes in my third pile. Let's hope I got my piles correct. All right, so then we're coming in again, and again, this one is showing that the lines are vertical, but we're going to cut it on this side, and we're going to start at 3 1/2. And go to 11. It's all right that you're late, Diana. And this one is 3C, but it shows the squiggly lines. So that goes on the third pile. This is a scrap. And then we're going to go 3 1/2, another 3 1/2. By 8 1/2. Scrap. We're going to use this side, so we'll mark it on this side, and that's a third. Goes goes in the 3 pile. This is leftover to play with. Like I said, you get a lot of product. All right, now, oh, we are going to cut this one. I thought this was going to be a base, but we're going to use this one at 6. And our flowers are supposed to be going vertical. So we'll go to 6 by 10 1/4. I've said this before. I'll say it again. Keep your instructions if you order one of these kits, because you can change up your paper, and that's a 3rd pile. You can change up the papers, make a totally different looking scrapbook page using the same pattern. You just need to have enough of the different designer series papers. All right, this one's at 4 3/4 by 10 1/4. We're almost done with our cutting, and then I'm going to start putting these together. Hopefully the quilted one won't take me too long. That's extra. This one is 3J. Put that in that pile. And then we'll flip this over. We're going to cut these flowers vertical again. We're going to cut this at 2 inches. And as soon as I get these cut, I'm going to let that dog in, and hopefully she stays in. All right. This whole piece, the whole rest of this piece, you get to play with. So it all coordinates together. You could do a lot of fun things with that. So now I need 5 2-inch squares. So my daughter and son, my son and daughter-in-law's best friend just had a baby. I think I talked about it last month when I did these, but a little girl. And I'm kind of putting together a scrapbook for her, so all she'll have to do is add the pages. So I'm looking forward to that. These are going to be some of those pages. So these squares all, I probably don't need to mark them because they all go in 1H. So I'm just going to put them in that pile because I'm sure I can figure it out. All right, so now we're coming into like the white willow cardstock. So white willow, well, let me grab the dog. White willow is a color that Close to My Heart used to carry. They called it Daisy, I believe. Stampin' Up! Has brought it in for scrapbookers. I think it was one of the things that Close to My Heart gals really wanted to have. It's very white. I love it. All right, and so this one's just getting cut 11 by 11. So this is going to be the base of some card. And this is 1B. And then we're going to do another. Oh, I guess they're cut different. I couldn't do it at the same time. All right, then I'm going to take another sheet of the white willow, and this is going to be 9 1/4 by 9 1/4. So we have basic white and we have willow white. And willow white really is whiter. So just so you're aware. All right, and then you're going to take the pool party cardstock, which is this one here. And according to the directions, you're going to cut it with the light side up as opposed to the dark side. So this is the light side. And we are going to cut this at 4 1/4. By 6 1/4. Oops. That 6 1/4 line is right there where the hinge is. That's the scoring blade. And this is going to be 3L. Pool Party is one of my favorite colors. And then we're going to cut this one at 3 1/4. And this is going to be 3M. And then this is a scrap. And then this one is 6 1/4. By 8 3/8. So 8, and then you're going to count off your ruler to just 2 lines above the 1/4 inch. And use your cutting blade. That's an extra. So this piece is 2E. I really recommend that you mark all your pages with the pattern number because it will make it so much easier when you go to put these together. All right, I think this is the last one that I cut. Yay. Let me pull out another piece of Pool Party. We're going to use the light facing up. We're going to go 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. And this is 3F. Put that in my third pile. Hopefully, that's a spare piece. Hopefully everything that I've been cutting I've actually put in the right pile. You know that a couple weeks ago when I did this, I didn't have them in the right pile. And when you go to put it together, it really messes you up. All right, so 6. I think I cut that one wrong. Oh no, 6 1/2. I cut it right, by 6 1/2. So we have a square, 2H. And then, now, oh I see, there's a 6 1/4. So now this is 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. So that obviously, this obviously is a piece that's going to hold a picture. And that is a scrap. All right, I think, oh wait, I better mark this. 1G. All right, we are going to turn the page here. See what I mean about the quilt? Look at all those squares. It's not going to be hard. I'm telling you that right now. I'm going to put my cutter away because I don't think I need it anymore. And I might move this over because I like to do the page. I'll come here with the page. All right, so we're going to start with a pink base. So here is the pink, and you can choose light or dark. I'm going to use the dark side. I was just reading to see if it's in the, I don't think it's in the directions, but these are all my pieces that I need. So here's all the squares I cut. I'll put that there. And I know I need this piece. And these pieces I think go on the next. Yeah, and these go here. And I think this stays here. All right, so this is going to get put on here. However, before I do that, I'm going to mat this down. And if I wanted to do it exactly how they have the instructions, they have it here down below on this one here. And so it tells you that this white piece is a 1/2 inch from the top and a 1/2 inch from the side. And so if you want it to be perfect, you can use a ruler. And in order to do that, you know, you would come to the 1/2 inch side here, line up your ruler along the edge of the pink cardstock, making sure, because this is a 12-inch ruler, so it's going to cover the whole sheet of 12 by 12 paper, right? Like that. And then you're going to go ahead and put this on there at the 1/2 inch mark up here, and then you'll have a perfect frame around there. And then the next thing is that these pieces, these little square pieces, go at 1/8 of an inch. And so then you want to come in 1/8 of an inch on your, I guess I'll go here. That's 1/4. So 1/8 of an inch. I want to make sure you guys can see this. I'm trying to line it up so the 1/8 of an inch is that first dash mark along there. So it's just a really skinny look. And then you're going to make sure that you're butted up against that edge there. I think we're pretty good. And then what you're going to do is you're going to place your pieces. And so I'm going to come up here and I want this to be 1/8 of an inch down. Now my ruler, as you can see, is getting kind of worn out along the edge. So it might not be perfect. I can also measure then 1/8 of an inch between the squares and keep it all lined up. So that it's perfect. Came off just a little bit. Anyway, there's your squares. I'm going to place those down. Make sure my adhesive is working. And then just go ahead and put all your pieces in. And like I said, this is a great way to keep your project balanced so that it's definite. Oh, wait, this is not in the right place. But you really have to make sure that your ruler doesn't move either. However, I am not that precise, so I would probably do this, but not have to feel the need to make sure everything was exactly 1/8 of an inch. Does that make sense? It's really up to you how precise you want it to be. The nice thing is that you can pick up the cardstock pieces and move them a little bit. Oh, see, I moved them a little too much. There we go. I'm not going to worry about it. All right, once I've done that, I'm going to take this blue piece, and this is going to actually get placed in here too as the placeholder for the photo. And I can actually even put, if I wanted to, I could put this on here, and that way, I'm just going to put it on there lightly. That way, if I give this page away, they have an idea that they need a 4x6 vertical picture to fit in there. All right, so once I've done that, then I'm going to go ahead and continue on with my squares. And we're going to fill in and I truly am just going to eyeball the rest because in my world, it does not have to line up. I'm not a quilter. I know that if you're sewing, you got to line things up. But I'm okay with being a little off. Not quite right. Like I said, though, it has directions. If you want to do it perfectly, go for it. All right, so there's that one, and then we're going to go up to the next block. And basically what I'm doing is I'm lining them up here and here. So they're very similar. And I'm just following the pattern. But it really makes for a cute page with those quilts squares. Okay, so this one's going to go in the middle, right there. And then we'll come around the top. And again, I'm just lining it up. And this one's going to go here. And this one's going to go here. Cute. It really makes for a fast, cute page. And then this one is going to go here. And then this one, which will hold the actual photo, will go right in the spot there that's open. And really, that's how quick it can go together, especially once you've cut your cardstock. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the sticker sheet and some of these stickers go on here. So like this Better Together sticker is going to go right along the bottom here. And I'll put it on there so that, lightly, so that they can still get their picture down inside there. And then I need a little bee, a cute little bee. Oh, here it is. And that's going to go over here on this side. And then the hexagon shape for the journaling, which is going to go here. And truly, that is the page put together. It's very quick, very easy. Then all I need to do is take this piece and make sure I line it up so that my border all the way around is close enough, because that's how I am. And that page is complete. Super cute. I'll show them both together when I do both sides. This one's going to go together really fast. So this one, you're going to use another pink base, and we're going to bring in, where did I put the pile of, there's the pile. Here's the pile of products. Again, we have a white base. We have these squares. So that's going to go there. This one's going to go down here. Looks like we have a bigger, there we go. This one's going to go here. And that one's going to go there. And then it's going to have a 3-inch picture in each square. All right, so let's go ahead and put this one together, because it's going to be pretty fast too. And like I said, if you are a perfectionist and you want to make sure that you are putting the pictures the right amount of measurement away on when you're putting it together, all the measurements are on here. It's fairly easy to read. And what this one is it's a 1/2 inch from the top of the white, 1/2 inch from the side of the white. And if you use your ruler, we can put that at a 1/2 inch. Bring that 1/2 inch all the way down. Make sure that we're butted up at the top. Right? And then this piece is going to go at a 1/2 inch. And then this piece is going to go at a 1/2 inch. So then you can see where you get the, do the same thing on the other side. I really hate to cover up that bumblebee paper because I think it's so cute. But I'm going to eyeball this one, because that to me looks like about a 1/2 inch. Might be a little crooked, which I can fix if I don't like it. And we'll put this one on there at a 1/2 inch. Oh, you know what's crooked? This is crooked. That's why it looks crooked. All right, so there is the page. And now I just have to embellish it, which is crazy that it's that simple and that fast. These are cute. So you come in with one of these bumblebees, and that's going to go right here. And then another little bumblebee is going to go down in this corner. And then we're going to use this page of die cut hearts. And now you can see we're not using very many. So there's a ton of leftover hearts and flowers that you can use. So we'll use these two. And we're going to add, and they're marked, so you know that they go on the first pages. And then this one's going to go down here. And there is your 2-page layout completed. It's pretty stinking cute. All right, I'm going to set that one aside. And I'll move on to the next page, which is going to have a yellow base, which is this polka dot yellow. Oh, there's stars. So this is stars. I don't know if you can see that. It's very cute. All right, so now I need the products for the second page. Put that aside for a minute. So I know I need this piece. This is for the next page. I think that's for the next page. I need this one. I need this one. And I need this one. For some reason, I think that's all of the papers that I need, which is awesome. All right, so to begin with, we're going to take 2 of the 4x6 photos. They're going to go right on this piece. Okay, so I'll go ahead and, so they'll know, put a 4x6 picture on here. I'm just going to make sure that my border around the edges, the 3 sides, is darn close. And then this side. And that piece is ready to go. Now these pieces, this one here, we're going to show the bumblebee side. And according to the markings, it needs to be 3/4 of an inch. And I guess I should probably start with this one. I'll start with this one. This one needs to be, okay, I'm going to put my edge right up at top there, right? We're going to make this at 3 3/4, my edge, and I'm going to come down 2 to 2 3/4 and place that one on there. And then I can take this one, which I've already put adhesive on, and they get like that, right over the top, right butted up. And then this piece, oh, I used the wrong side. I have to erase the this piece gets put here, and then I gotta erase this too. There. Super easy. And then this piece actually gets put on here, and so that it's just kind of framed out by all those pieces of paper. So I'll go ahead and add this. And if I wanted to, I could take it, it's 1 inch from this end. So again, I can line it up along my 1 inch line. And then lay this on there. And that page is ready to go. Let me grab the stickers and we'll put them on and be done. What I find is usually the first page is the most involved, and then the next few pages are pretty quick. And again, like I said, with the cutting of the paper, that's the hardest part. All right, so then you're going to flip this over, and we're going to use these 2 hearts. And they are going to go on here. One's up here, and one's down here. And that page is done. It's cute. All right, let's flip this over, bring back another yellow starred sheet. Lay that down. Find my pieces of paper. So these are the pieces that I need for this one. And again, we have this square for your photos. And this one, I believe, does 4 3x3s. So these will end up being pictures. So I'm going to go ahead and place those on there. And when Allison puts her pictures on here, she can either do it right over the top of this, or she can pull these off and then put the picture on. But she'll know where the pictures go. So that's ready to go. Then I have these 2 strips and this bee paper. This bee paper is going to go this way though, because I want those bees to be facing up. So this piece is going to go in here about 3/4 of an inch, and that's going to get put on there. 3/4 of an inch from this edge, about 3 5/8 from that edge, and get placed on there. And then this piece is going to come right across the bottom of this frame. This is what I mean about somebody sits down and engineers this whole thing. Makes it easy for us to put them together. I love the pool party with this crushed curry. It's unbelievably gorgeous. I think it's crushed curry. It might not be. I should look at the pack. All right, and then I have this bumblebee piece that I'm going to go ahead and add some adhesive to. And this one's going to get butted up right along that frame like that. And then we're going to take the sticker sheet. We're going to use this sticker sheet here. And we're going to put it along the edge here. And then trim it off. Oh, I know one of the things I forgot to do, but I'll go back and do it. And then we're going to butt this piece up against that and go across and trim that off. And I'm going to just put that back on the sheet to save it. And then we have this long journaling piece that can go on here. Like that. And then I like this little "We Belong Together." I'm going to put that on right along the bottom of that. Like that. That page is done already. See what I mean? How it goes faster as you do this? Once you've cut your paper, it's good to go. But this is the 2-page spread. And it is beautiful. All right, so this one is completely done. Now, we have 2 more pages. And then we're done. And so again, you can use the light or the dark side. Doesn't matter. I'm going to use this side. I'm going to bring in my papers for 3, which is a whole bunch. And then I'm going to figure out, so this one maybe not. Oh, I'm going to start with this page. All right, so I need 3F. M goes on the next page. L goes on this page. No. All right, so F. L goes on the next page. M goes on the next page. This piece is J. Goes on the next page. This one goes on this page. That one goes on the next page. This one goes on this page. H. G goes on this page. So how I'm doing this is I'm just looking at the letters. So I need the letters. All right, there we go. Separated. So how this goes together is fairly simple. It's a bunch just of layered papers. So you start with this one, and this is going to go butted up against this edge. And I'm just going to put it about there. And then once you've got that down, you're going to lay this one down. And again, it's butted up against that edge and goes across. And then you're going to put this one down, which is butted up against the edge. But I want to make sure that the plaid is showing, and so it's kind of staggered. And then, oh, this one goes underneath. This one's going to go under here. And then this is going to be the photo, which is this photo. So super easy. But those layered papers just make it look so cute. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start laying out my paper. All right, this one's going to go here. This one is going to go here. And this one is going to go here. And then the photo is going to go here. I do like the way the papers are cut. And then we're going to take this cute little bumblebee And he's going to go here. And to be happy, he's going to go up here. And then we're just going to use a little strip of, I'm cutting off a sticker. So it's just it's the 12-inch sticker, but I just cut off a piece. And this is actually going to go, I cut too much, so I'm going to cut it off again. You're going to end up with a lot of these strips of stickers to play with. That one's just going to go there. Except I think I'll try to put it on straight, because why not? There we go. And then I take my sheet of die cuts. And on this page, I'm just using this one. And I'm going to punch out the center of the flower because I want the pink to show through on here. And shows you where the flower is. Now, one of the things that they talk about doing in this is using your petunia pop, that's what this color is, marker, and then doing the little dash lines along your butterflies, your bees. So it's super easy to do. Just draw a little line. This marker hasn't been used, so it's, there we go, now it's working. So I will go through and draw the little dash lines on the bees. That is going to get laid aside, and we're going to put the last page together, and then we're done. All right, so here's this, and here's the pieces. So this time, this piece is going to go here. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it together while I'm jibber-jabbering here. Butt it up against this edge. Now, if you want them to match up, which is a good idea, it's a good idea to lay your pages together and then put this one down. And then it'll run across both pages. So that's a good idea. I'm going to do it with all of them, because I do want them to match up. I want them to go across both sets of pages looking very similar. So I'll take this one, and this one's going to go here, and then this one is going to go here. And I've laid out those pages, and then this one, oh, I put it together wrong. I'll fix it. So this piece actually gets laid down first, and then this piece gets laid on there. Hi, Sue, from Australia. Is it the middle of the night or early morning there? So that's how you do that. And then you have these two pieces. One's going to be a 3x3 and one's going to be a 4x6. And I'll add that on there so I know what to use. And this gets added on here. And then this one is going to get added on right down here. And I'm just going to match them up here to here and leave about the same amount of space on each side. If you want to measure it, have at it. All right, so I need to take two of the flowers from this die cut sheet. So like I said, you can see how many die cuts are on there that you get extra to play with. Oh, well, that's not so bad. 11:45 or 11:54 a.m. So this one's going to get put up here. And this one is going to get put down here. And I'm going to grab the stickers. And this little bee, cute little bee, is there. And this cute little bee is going to go here. And then I have all the buzz here. And as you can see, they then did the journaling right just down here, right onto the page. And it looks great. The last thing that they did is they took another one of these little strips of sticker, and I just cut off a little strip, and I'm going to place it here. And then those 2 pages are done. And you can see how they line up. So it's a nice 2-page spread. And then I can use my Petunia Pop marker to draw the on these, giving a little flying mark. So this is the other page. I think they turned out adorable. I can't wait to put this whole scrapbook together for Allison and get her started. So those are the pages. Oh, and look, I did it in an hour. Yay! So I did 3 2-page spreads, 6 pages in an hour. I think that's incredibly fast. You get some extra stickers, lots of extra die cuts, and lots of extra papers that go with it, so that you can use, make all kinds of stuff with. Anyway, if anybody has any questions, now's the time to ask. I will tell you that I am going to be out of town for the next 2 weeks. I won't be back until May 1st. I'm actually headed over to Amsterdam, and I'm taking a river cruise from Amsterdam to somewhere in Belgium. I'm looking forward to it. Me and my sister are going, and we leave Saturday. So if you have any questions, I am going to have my laptop, and I do have service, so I can certainly help anybody that has any questions or anything. If you haven't already done so, sign up for my newsletter so that you stay informed about what I'm doing. I will be back probably May 2nd. I'm going to, over that weekend, do some live events with the new catalog, because that will go live May 6th. So anyway, thank you for coming. I hope you learned something new, and if you didn't, I'm sorry. I've got some other fun projects set aside. I've been working on stuff and just kind of piling them into a box so that I'm prepared for these Thursday nights. So there's lots to do. So anyway, take care. Have a great Easter. Have a great couple weeks, and I will see you in May. Take care. Bye-bye.